Hey, Sala babes. Welcome back to episode 2, part 2 of Marriage, Divorce, and Surviving Family Drama. In part 1, we spoke about military and how that plays a role in getting married so quickly, healing from past relationships, and recognizing how we played a role in our marriages, and just being honest. So let's just get right back into it. I understand what he was feeling though. Now I understand it after this last relationship I was in. I understand it fully because he wanted us to be a partnership. And I'd even tell him that I wasn't looking at any grad schools in New York.
Yeah.
I was looking at every school
Out.
outside of New York.
I remember.
Because one,
far away too.
Financially, it was easier for me because I wasn't gonna get any funding here in New York.
And healthier family wise. Like I remember the dynamic at home.
It was just not healthy. And so he felt like, wow, she made a decision without me. And we were, mind you, 7 years already in that relationship. I made a decision to move out of New York without even him knowing. And so in his mind, he thinks
I can see that
we're in a long-term relationship and I'm just making this decision without him. It's not, and he felt like it's not a we, it's an I. And he always felt like that. He always felt like that it was always just me and never just me and him.
Yeah.
And so I was able to see that. And now that like I'm just got out of a recent relationship, and I'm realizing like, wow, I was begging for that, for like what this other person wanted from this previous relationship. And so I understand why he was upset with me.
Yes, but I wouldn't go too hard on that, on relating that with this recent relationship, because you definitely delivered more than what your current ex, because your ex-husband really was that man. Like he took care of you.
Yes.
I'm never gonna forget when I met your ex-boyfriend, your current one. We went to that's the first time I met him, and he didn't buy my bitch apple juice. I am never gonna get over that.
Girl.
And I was like, she was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I know he wasn't the one when he didn't buy you apple juice. And you were like, how do you remember that? I was like, I don't know. I just felt like, damn, you didn't have $4. Like, he couldn't buy you a $4 apple juice. At that moment, I knew ese hombre no sirve. Yo. Like, sorry, not sorry. If you hear this,
we're gonna go back to our ex-husband because
but that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to give yourself grace in that matter, because your ex-husband really delivered and he really took care of you, your family. I'm not trying to defend him at all, but he was really that guy. And like I said, you grew to become this person. Like, it's just, I think you outgrew it. Not that you outgrew him, but you just outgrew that relationship, because you really became who you needed to be. Like, you needed to leave.
Well, yeah, because
Florida, and you needed to leave New York.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like that decision had to be made by just you. Because if it was you and someone else, I don't think you would have ever left. You would have done grad school probably here. And
in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have come back. Because the only reason why I came back, and I was so...
Yeah, he brought your ass back.
Yeah.
he brought your ass back right after graduation. You're moving back the next day, sis.
I moved. And what's funny enough is that I could have lived with him in his apartment, but I was so hung up on getting my own things. It's kind of like my intuition or my higher self was telling me, like, sis, he's not for you.
You need to be independent.
I need to be by myself. And yeah, like, he did take care of me in that way. He always paid for shit, but that really hindered our relationship, because when I would pay for things, or I would lend him money, or not even lend him money, like, I always told him, like, what's mine is yours.
It was his pride. You were just bruising his pride and ego.
No, that was that. Yes, and the machismo.
Yes, that was just his mind and ego, and that's what I said. Like, it was just, I don't want to say ageism, because he wasn't that guy, because he would talk to you if you were intellectually, like, I was way younger than both of you, and he would treat me like an equal, right? So that's why I was like, I don't see it as that, but I really think once you started becoming this grand woman, it was kind of like he couldn't grasp you, is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say that he like controlled you, but I feel like he couldn't, about what we were talking about
He couldn't
earlier.
control me.
He couldn't.
No, and
And I feel like that's the demise of a lot of our relationships, that we can't be submissive. We want to be equals, like we want to be.
but honestly, going through a divorce, it really taught me like you don't really know somebody until you want to go through a divorce, and especially one that's not.
Especially when you got mad money.
When you got money, when money is involved, and you don't have a prenup, and also when it's like you both are not on the same page about like, yeah, we want to get divorced.
This is the only time we're gonna be
'Cause
pro Kanye. Prenup.
I'm crying. I didn't even know about that, but
What
yeah,
in the song?
it's alright. I don't really follow Kanye like that, just because I think he's
Girl, this is
mentally
old
ill.
Kanye, but
Oh,
must we carry on?
amazing.
I mean, why did I divorce? I don't even remember. Nah, I'm kidding. I do. I remember divorcing. I remember wanting to divorce 6 months before telling my ex-husband I wanted to divorce. And I'm never going to forget it. I was sitting in the couch in our new house. I was there with my brother. We were watching the Adele concert. And at that moment, like, it was just me and him. We were drinking wine. And I was like, I think I want to leave this person.
Oh, with your brother.
And he was just like, just don't make the same mistake our mom did, and stay in something because you have a kid. Because my brother was the one that saw most of the fallout of that marriage. So that really stuck with me. And I wanted to make sure that my son wasn't traumatized in this process of separating, divorce, and stuff like that. And so I stood in the marriage maybe like 4 months. After 4 months,
Damn.
gave it a try from when I said that to my brother. 4 months, went on a family vacation, came back, and we were sleeping in separate rooms after that. And then I think 2 months after that vacation, we were sleeping in separate rooms. And then I think a month after, he kept going back and forth, like, we're going to family therapy. Like, he was really trying to make it work, but it was just too late. Because I remember it was like Memorial Day weekend, and I was like, no, we're done. Like, this is it. Like, we were in the garage, and
Damn.
I was just like fed up. Like, I couldn't even cry anymore. Like, I was just like, I'm done. Like, I threw my like, I was just like, blech, like, I'm done. I just can't. And it was just a lot of back and forth, and he ended up just packing up and he left. Like, he knew it was just, that was it. Like, I couldn't forgive a lot of the stuff that went on while we were dating, and in the beginning of our marriage. There was a lot of lies, and there was infidelity, and it was just a lot of lies. Like, and I called him out on it. I called his friends out on it, because his friends and like, egged him on. Like, it was just a lot of weird shit with these military people. And I really stood around because I had a son. And I think the biggest thing with me is that I'm willing to forgive, but I can never forget it, because you did it to me. And like, I say sorry, like, I accept your sorry, but you did it to me. You did it to me, and you hurt me, and fool me once, but you can't fool me twice. And then people were like, oh, I'm not gonna do it. Nah, they do that shit. Like, believe them the first time. Because once you start going through that divorce, you should have seen that shit from the beginning. Like, don't be fooled. And don't get me wrong, he's a great human, not my person, but we're great friends now, great co-parents. And it took a long time. It took a long time. I think, we didn't even say how long we got married. We got married 2020, we were divorced. Well, state of North Carolina makes you wait a year of separation, then you could get a divorce. So I don't even know how. Like, I think we were married for 2-ish years,
Yeah, I don't know.
and then we finally got it. It's been 1 year since I've been divorced.
Yeah, you had to wait.
So
You had to wait. You had no you had no choice
the
but to
South.
wait. I remember when you told me that. I'm like, dang.
And we got
girl.
married in Texas, and I had hired a lawyer to,
In
because that's what they
Texas,
like. I was
yeah.
able to, and it was just this whole thing, and
That's crazy. Yeah, we were going through a divorce at the same time. So I also got married in 2020. I don't know. I don't remember, but 2020 because I left this person in 2021, and the divorce, I think it was finalized in 2023. Yeah, in 2023 or 2024.
No, it's 2025. It's 2024.
Gosh.
Because I went on that cruise last April, and I went that week to court to present myself.
Well, for you, I'm talking about myself. Like,
yeah, that was, you got divorced right around that time. That was 2024. Because we in 2025, sis. It's only been a year since we both been newly divorced.
I guess so. Well, whatever the timeline was,
it was short.
Like, if you're listening to this, just know that getting married and getting a divorce is no fucking joke. Don't do that shit for shits and giggles, because
it's
first
harder.
off, especially if it's what's it, uncontested. Is that the term?
Is that that's when they don't bother
agree?
You. Yeah,
they don't agree. When they don't agree.
No, contested is when they don't agree.
Okay, when it's
and they fight it. That's when they contest.
Okay, when it's a contested
yeah
type of divorce, bitch, you gotta spend money on a lawyer.
Better get that attorney.
This motherfucker. I'm sorry to my
your shit was crazy.
My listeners, because I was stressed out.
My bitch got money.
Okay, so towards the end, it got ugly because I had asked him like, do you agree to get divorced? He said yes. You know, he was upset with me because just things didn't really go like the way it ended. It was just not great, and so he was upset, and he's entitled to his feelings. But like, I thought we were on the same page about having an uncontested divorce, so I was gonna file it myself. I started the filing. I went to the fucking courthouse. I paid $200 something for the papers, and he went ghost on me, bitch. He went ghost on me, and I'm over here texting him on WhatsApp and like, yo, well, hello, why are you doing this? This motherfucker served me. I called you the day that I was served, because I was in the shower, and all of a sudden I hear a knock on my door that felt, it was
super
scary.
sus. Yeah.
So like, I'm like, who is it? And then the motherfucker is serving me through the fucking door, and I'm not even opening the door. I call you right away.
I remember.
And I'm just like this, and then I'm like on the phone, like these motherfuckers serving me.
I was like, don't agree. Don't say your name.
Don't say anything. And so I was so embarrassed. There was so much shame around it, because this guy who's serving me, obviously it's not his fault. He's just doing his job, right? But he's out here like saying shit mad loud in the hallway.
He took a stray bullet.
He's saying so much shit in the hallway, and I'm like, shh, shh. I'm just shushing him like, oh nah, he's airing my dirty laundry.
Tú estás hablando demasiado. Cállate.
Cállate la fucking boca. Cállate la fucking boca. Like, no diga nada.
Give me the shit. Give me the fucking paper.
What the fuck? I was so tight. And then I called. You were on the phone. I cried. But like, he basically wanted some of my assets. He felt entitled to my assets because he felt like he helped me.
He put you on.
Like, he put me on. He taught me some things. And he was like, you know what? Like, I'm going through my own shit. I don't know who put that bug in his ear.
Nah, he was just smart. He felt entitled. Like he invested in you, so you had to pay him back. And that's that transactional shit. Like, I invested in you, now I deserve what you have because I did that. And that's crazy. Because it's like, you work for that. Like, if you have it, that's on you. Why? Like, if you felt like you deserved that, then you should have worked harder for that shit to be under your name, sir.
But you know what? It was so crazy. I was like, I paid for a
Wild.
lawyer.
Alimony crazy.
He at one point he wanted me to, like, we were going back and forth because I told my lawyer I'm not giving him shit.
He really wanted alimony.
He wanted half of my assets. And then he wanted me to, and then at one point he was like telling his fucking, wasn't even a lawyer. Let me not even get to that. But he was telling them like, oh yeah, I want her to pay me $1,000 a month for 6 months.
That's such a bitch move.
It's not even that. It's just like,
Nah, that is a bitch move. Cause these choppies be getting that.
dude.
And shout out to them because I want to be one. Nah, I'm just kidding.
It was ugly, and at the time I didn't tell nobody. You were the only one. I was still not. So at this point I was stressed.
And we were going through the divorce by ourselves.
It was just me and you. I only told, and then eventually I had to tell my boyfriend at the time because my ex-husband was harassing me through WhatsApp. He was saying a whole bunch of things.
I forgot that person was in the mix.
Yep. At the time, I had to tell him because I was like, "Hey, listen." I sat him down, which was crazy. I sat him down. I thought he was gonna leave me because a bitch is married, and I didn't even tell him that. I didn't even tell my boyfriend that I was married. ¿Tú me imaginas? ¿Tú te imaginas eso?
Mine at the time offered to pay my lawyer fees. He just came back from Poland from deployment.
But that's some military shit. Like,
he's
really,
like, I'll pay your lawyer fees.
Well, because didn't he get a divorce too? So he understood.
Yeah, but he's older and
yeah. So basically, yeah, I told my boyfriend at the time, like, I'm married and I just want you to know this. I'm stressed and I understand, like, you know, if you don't want to be with me no more because this is like a lie and if you see me different, but I'm going through a divorce and if you want to like support me, so like it was not the best time. I was going back and forth with my lawyer, and at one point he disappeared. He said to his lawyer he don't want to go through it, and then he said it was very stressful. At the end I spent probably half of what he wanted. Half of what he wanted. And honestly, it wasn't much because I had money saved and, you know, a bitch was prepared. Yeah. But I wasn't prepared for that bullshit.
My ex-husband straight up told me, if you want it, you pay for it.
You want it, you pay for it. How I feel about your ex-husband.
And I'm just like, I want it. And you already know me. I pay for whatever. Get me out of this shit. Like, I'm willing to throw money at whatever throws me peace. I don't care if I'm in debt. Peace, like
that don't bring me peace.
Nah, because you know what? I could get myself out of debt, but staying in some shit toxic is crazy. Like, I'd rather I'll pay the suffering of my peace. Like, I'm good on that.
Yeah, and
I'll pay that later. That's a tomorrow problem.
I think, like, the question, like, why did we stay in this marriage for so long? Because, like, we were unhappy. I mean, your shit, honestly, when you say 4 months, I'm like, damn, it felt like it was longer. But for me, I was in there for like, not like towards the last 2 years, I knew that shit was over in my heart. And then us being married, it made it harder because I'm like, we're married and we need to make it work. And I didn't see myself with anybody else. I thought that he was the one. It
was definitely the end all be all. I feel like us getting married, I think the way me and you always spoke about it, it was like the end all be all. Like, if me and you would have gotten married, we knew, like, this is just our besties and eventually we're going to break up. But I think when we knew that we were going to get married with these individuals, like, nah, we're going to do this for life. Like, you're eventually going to have your own ceremony with this person. Because you guys were already 9 years deep. And I was growing a whole child with this person. So it's like, you know, we're going to make this work. And, man, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Definitely stood in it because my child, like.
At some point I had to, like.
As a divorced kid, I didn't want to be divorced parents.
Nobody knew. Nobody knew. And so when it got ugly for me, that's when I had to tell people, because at this point he was coming for my assets and I was just so stressed and he was saying things that were ugly, and I told my parents finally, and don't get married for shits and gigs.
Yeah.
Don't get married for shits and gigs.
I remember my dad was actually in my life during during when I wanted to get a divorce, and he actually told me that I was supposed to stay in it. I told him like I wanted to, like, my marriage isn't working out, and like I'm going through a
He
lot of
told you
stuff,
that.
and I think I want to get a divorce. And he was like telling me how that's like the biggest mistake. and
Lord.
and I'm never gonna. And I think at that moment I knew that my dad also was like garbage, and he was like useless. And I was just like, oh my god, like this man, my father, is telling his youngest daughter to stay in this marriage that, like, he doesn't even know what I've been dealing with, but he's telling me, hey, you need to stay in it and make it work because that's what you're supposed to do. Mind you, this individual wasn't even in our lives as children to help my mom financially or anything, but you're telling me to make it work. And then, like,
Damn.
my stepdad and my mom knew like what I was going through, and
Mm-hmm.
the fact that no one told me besides three people, you, my brother, and my cousin, to get the fuck out. I just feel like my parents were like the worst example of parents, and like of a sorry excuse of like marriage.
Yeah.
Like they were like the poorest example possible, and I think that's why I tried so hard to make it work with my ex-husband. But it definitely gave me the balls to be like, nah, fuck this. I'm out, and I know my kid will understand one day. Because he will know what the true meaning of love is, and not whatever the fuck we thought we were doing, because that was not it.
I definitely think like what you just said about your dad wanted you to make it work goes back to like that verse we said earlier, and maybe just like, you know, religion, how you're supposed to like stick through it through thick and thin and things like that, but it's not really fair. I would say like when I told my parents I was married, they supported me, and like because I was stressed out and it was the first time they heard of it. And I was an extremely private person with my parents especially, and my sister, and the fact that I was opening up to them and telling them a whole bunch of things was just surprising to them. They thought I was they thought my ex-husband was beating me. They
What?
thought they thought my ex-husband was beating me. They thought that he was
They so extra.
they thought that he was stealing my money, that he was, yeah, a whole bunch of shit. But because I never told them
Yeah.
anything, I was so private, they thought that the reason that I left him was because he was beating me and shit. Like, it
Yeah.
was abusive to me.
I don't even think my brother knows. Like, I never told my brother, like, the extent of, like, what happened in our relationship. My stepfather knows, though, like, everything. My stepfather's Puerto Rican. He was born in Chicago, though, and raised from a full body. And he's definitely a mama's boy. And my stepfather, let me tell you, when I called him crying, I was pregnant, and I found out, like, my ex-husband was talking or cheating on me with this co-worker slash friend of his. He was like, so leave. He was like, leave. He was like, come, leave. Like, my stepfather was the most supportive, and he is like such a girl. Like, I don't know if it's just because like of his daughters, because you know he has two other, like, his biological daughters, and he has such a great bond for them. Like, he does absolutely everything for them. And I think he was the only like support male wise with my brother to be like, yeah, get up and leave, because my mom and my dad were like, my mom was like, make it work, but at the same time leave.
Pero ella no
And then
sabía
when I
nada.
got out, it was like, well,
Es que ella no sabía nada. She didn't know anything. So that's why. But it was such a hard time trying to going through that divorce process and whatnot, and it got so ugly. It made me think like, well, would I even do this shit again? Like,
it's just so expensive.
divorce or marriage,
It's cheaper to keep them.
dude.
It's
But
cheaper to keep
that
them.
really made us. So we talked about it a lot. Like, that really made us think about prenups differently. Like, I don't even care about like the whole negative connotation behind prenup. Like, no, like, if you want to get a prenup, I want to get a prenup.
And it's not like I'm saying, and it's not like we're freaking filthy rich, because I think we're just normal. We're normal 28, 30-year-olds that are just not surviving, but we're growing up and we're trying to build what our parents couldn't build. And it's like the nerve that people feel like they're entitled to that, to take it away, is wild.
Because at the end of the day, we're individuals.
Right. We're individuals.
We're individuals. And yes, but in the state of law, like when you're married, you're seen as one person and all your assets are like stuck together. But after like you get married, right? But a prenup is meant to, like, whatever I do on my own is mine. And people like say, oh, like, you know, you want to do a prenup because you're like, you don't think we're gonna stay together forever. No, this is just in case. Like, we're human beings. Uno nunca sabe.
My current boyfriend wanted so I said I want a prenup. Like when we spoke about marriage and like all that extra new stuff in this new relationship, I was like, yeah, I definitely want a prenup. And he was like, a prenup? And I was like, yeah, I want a prenup. Like, I don't want your house, like, and I don't want your car. Whatever I have is mine, and it's before like you even existed will be mine.
Exactly. And I told my last ex, like, yeah, I want a prenup. I mean, like,
And
even the thought of like getting married again after I got divorced, I'm like, I don't even know if I want to get married again. Like, how long should I wait?
Yeah, I think I told you one time, I was like, I'm good being a full-time girlfriend. And then when like one of like my you know, my cousin and my cheerleading coach, they were like, you need to like not settle for less. Like, why are you settling for that?
Yeah.
I was like, well, I don't want to get married. That shit's scary.
Yeah. I honestly, I still do want to get married.
I want like a whole shebang.
Me too.
Like, I want grand gestures, proposal.
Yeah, I want that too. I think about it.
I want
like
candles everywhere.
I want propose to me in a different country, bitch.
You are money.
I want you to like, but I don't give a fuck about if anybody's there, but I want it to be recorded and so that everybody else can see it. I don't even care about the ring.
No, we care about the ring. We care about the ring.
But ultimately, like, going through that was, yeah.
That shit was wild.
What has the divorce taught us?
People are definitely not their true selves until money's involved.
No, but it's true.
Like, that shit's crazy.
It's true.
I'm trying to think what else.
I think for me, like I said earlier, like, you truly don't know someone until you go through a divorce. Lawyers,
no, see, man, they're scam artists.
They feel like it sometimes, honestly. And it really was a moment for me to step back and reflect. Like, once it was done, I was like, I could look back and laugh at it. At the end of the day, like, what if I was just like been like, all right, whatever, fuck it, like, you can have half of my assets, I'll just make that shit back, you know? It doesn't really matter. What it basically taught me is like, I want a prenup, and I deserve better. Like, I deserve an actual proposal, an actual wedding, a man that wants to be my husband and support me, not because he feels like he has to, because it's like the manly thing to do, but because he wants to, and he wants to make my life soft.
Yeah. Take the weight off your shoulders.
Right.
Oh, that is the dream. That is the dream. Like, don't support me just because you feel like you have to. Support me because you genuinely want to. Like, don't be a hater.
That's weird. Like, you're saying like your partner being a hater?
Yo, that's some real life shit though. Like, your partner being a hater, because I feel like when women are just more mentally stronger and smarter, men feel very little, and I feel like they feel intimidated in their relationship. So I feel like that's, you know, it's a control thing. Like, when I feel like men don't have control of their partner, it's like,
but truly, marriage is just a piece of paper.
But yes, and I'm not saying, like, I don't know. It's so hard because I don't know how to explain it. Besides, like, I know with my partner, it's always now, it's always, as a woman, I'm supposed to make him feel a certain way. And it's like, I don't know where certain men get this connotation that we are put on this earth to make them feel like men, or give them the opportunity to feel like men. Like, you are a man.
Like, for anybody who's listening out there, really don't take marriage lightly. And lean on your people, because all that shame and that guilt, whatever is going on in your own partnership, if you're married right now, if you're going through a divorce, if you got some family drama because of your marriage, dude, find your people, find that support system. Like my Sala babes, like my bestie was my support for a very long time.
Word.
And I don't think, like, she had a lot of my secrets.
That's why my hair's so big.
And and so, like, yeah, just don't take it lightly.
If you're thinking about getting a divorce, and you're just staying in a relationship that's abusive, or you're scared, definitely don't feel scared. Don't be embarrassed to leave. Don't feel guilty. Like, definitely reach out to whoever you can. There's resources. I know we'll probably try to find links and resources that we could attach to the captions, but definitely don't feel embarrassed, and don't feel like you need to stay in something, because there's definitely resources out there for everyone, for financial abuse and all those types of things. Like, there's resources, and you're not alone. There's people out there that are going through something similar, and they're just not talking about it, and we are, and it's okay. Yeah. Like, it's not a judgment. Do what you got to do. Protect yourself, protect your kids.
I hope you enjoyed this episode about us talking about our marriage and our divorce. And surprise, a bitch was married and we got divorced.
30 under 30.
All right.
Watch us get married in our 30s.
I hope so.
Plot twist.
Fingers crossed. All right, y'all. That's a wrap on today's Cheese Man. We laughed. We dragged it a little bit, just a little bit. And we healed. Kind of. But if it hit too close to home, journal about it, boo. Just journal about it.
And don't forget, what happens in the Sala gets talked about on the mic. Catch us next time. Same Sala, same vibes.
Stay nosy and stay healing. Bye, Sala babes.
Nos fuimos.